Okay, but I'm going to mute myself and lock my video because I'm just doing some work along with the. हेलो
इतना इम्पोर्टेंट वर्क क्या चल रहा है साथी?
यार मेरी सिस्टर इन लॉ अपने हस्बैंड के
ठीक है करो. So very quickly, tomorrow we are meeting in the morning at 11:30.
Tomorrow again, then that's fine. She's here. She's living here, local only. Actually, it's my brother-in-law's birthday, so they are here for some.
How nice. ठीक है.
Yeah. ठीक है, तो प्लीज यू कंटिन्यू. मैं सुन रही हूँ, बस मैं म्यूट कर रही हूँ और वीडियो ब्लॉक कर रही हूँ बिकॉज आई विल बी रोमिंग अराउंड. ठीक है. थैंक यू.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm going to start sharing a screen and then we are going to begin from there. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Can you guys see this? Okay. So last time we had talked a little bit about, so not the one, the class we did last time, that was on breasts. And we'll jump into breastfeeding tomorrow morning. But the one we did before that, which was 1st of October, we had talked about labor. And now we are going to talk about how the labor unfolds. And in that class, I'd shown you briefly these slides where we had said we want to talk a little bit more next time. So labor, if you remember from our previous class, we say that all labor happens or all progress happens if there is contractions that have a rhythm, that stay steady for a while, then get longer, stronger, and closer, and lead to progress. Progress can be measured as placement, as dilation, as where the baby's head is at, and the rotation. And for those people whose membranes have released, we also still wait for these contractions to happen. Now, depending on how the contractions are happened, the whole big labor is divided into 3 stages. The purpose of the first stage is to open up the mother's body, means fully effaced, fully dilated. Purpose of stage 2 is to have the baby out. So whatever little he has to descend, rotate, come out, push out, that is the second stage. And stage 3 is the delivery of the placenta. Right? Now, because the first stage is so long, we have divided into 3 phases. This is the most important part for you to understand, to assess where the woman is at and what might help her at that time. So when labor begins, the contractions may be any time between 5 to 20 minutes apart. If your client calls you and says, I'm having contractions 1 in an hour, you can say, oh, it is just the very early beginning. Let's wait and watch for a rhythm to establish. But don't even consider it a rhythm when it is not 20 minutes apart at least. You don't have to feel the first contraction and run to the hospital because it may stop or it may take many, many hours to arrive even at 20 minutes apart. So if your client is having 1 contraction every 40 minutes, how many minutes of, which is 30 seconds each, how many minutes of pain are they in an hour? 30 seconds? Surely they can cope with that without your help. Right? You don't want to bring out your biggest tool to make the tiniest hole in the wall. You don't want to put a stick of dynamite to make a little pinprick to hang a picture. You want to hold on to your sticks of dynamite. So it is very important that the mother not only is prepared with this information, but her sense of readiness is there. It's a different thing. Being prepared is getting information. Being ready is an internal thing. So say freely, I'm happy to come and visit you if you need reassurance. but I don't see that this is difficult. And as you get through this, your own confidence will increase. So we're looking at a time period. Now, some moms may start labor 5 minutes apart, but it's only 30 seconds. So what is it? It is too early to do anything. Too early to go to the hospital and too early for the baby to come. There is nothing to panic and jump up and down about because it cannot be. Now, because we don't live in a way where we trust our bodies, some moms might get really anxious. So when they call you and you're listening to them and they're saying, my contractions are 10 minutes apart, they're 30 seconds, they're quite painful, you cannot tell them that you don't need me. You can say, I'm happy to come and see you. You'll find that when you go there, you have a cup of tea with them, you move around after half an hour, 1.5 hours, they'll say, okay, it's not that much, I'm doing really well. Can you come back later? Would you like to go home? If they are getting extremely anxious, say go to the hospital and let the doctor check you. What are they anxious about? They're going to be anxious about either is the baby doing okay or how much am I progressing. So set the context right, saying you can see the contractions are just 30 seconds and it is really early labor. However, if you need reassurance, go to the hospital. If you feel that you want to stay there, I will come to you. So while in a class, in a cognitive forum, we tell them that don't go to the hospital if the contractions are less than 1 minute long, but they can go to reassure themselves, because if they sit at home and worry about it, that labor will never progress. So they can go to ensure that they are not admitted. This conversation happens early when you show them this chart and you say, listen, you can go, but make sure you meet your doctor in the OPD, not in the casualty. Don't get admitted to get a check. Get checked, then decide. And even though cognitively we say that if it is less than 4 centimeters, come home, you say, I trust you. Because only they know how they feel. Here are other things you look for. When you're talking to them on the phone saying, oh, Shita, I've been having contractions since morning. It's already been 6 hours. So what do you think? This is it? Am I in labor now? Can I go to the hospital? If they are thinking, it's early labor. If they use the words think, they are in early labor. Early labor means too early for the baby to come. So this is what you're hearing. This is what you are mentally prepared with. If you have a client who wants you to come in early labor, take a change of clothes. Make sure you have your toothbrush with you, because it might take that long, right? So if she's asking you, if she's thinking pros and cons of, oh, you know what, I'm also feeling this. You think this is labor? No, this is early. All you have to know that the baby is doing well is feel regular baby movements. It's right here. If the baby is moving regularly in a pattern that he usually does, then she's fine. Things are going well. No need to worry about. So you're observing. This is a period of patience, because the main work done here is effacement or thinning. Even dilation will not happen that much. When she's quite well effaced, dilation will happen much faster. You can be in early labor for almost 24 hours, and that's fine. Because you've not told anybody, there's no time limit to it. The contractions have a rhythm, and they should get longer and stronger. You can observe the rhythm of the contractions. You can observe the feelings of, what the mother is feeling, and you can observe the baby movement. So you say, oh, so how far apart are your contractions? And she'll say they're about 13 minutes apart or 8 minutes apart. Okay, and how do you feel through them? Oh, when they come, I do this. So she's very social, very talkative, very interactive, wants to tell the world that labor has begun, early labor. And how are the baby movements? Baby's moving well. And how do you feel? Oh, I'm excited, or now I'm thinking whether I'll be able to do it. The more she's thinking in her feeling space, the more early it is. So while people at home are telling her, get active, start moving, squatting, doing this, that, nobody can squat and jump up and down for 24 hours. So we're going to ask them to rest, preferably on their left, or sitting and leaning forward, whatever works for them. Eat well and hydrate. And the tools for this period is find ways to distract yourself. The more you are distracted, the lesser anxiety you will feel, the faster with the. So what is your toolbox? I generally ask my clients to make a toolbox. What are the new series on Netflix that you want to watch? You can watch them back to back. List out your favorite music. What is it that comforts you? Do you have a warm water tub? Do you have a shower? All of these things they can do to relax themselves, eat, rest, and hydrate. Put that thinking mind on vacation. If they can do that, the next step will become very, very easy and very organic. Okay. In old times, that's when the older sister-in-law, the chatani, would say, "Chup rehna, किसी को बताना नहीं जाता, हल्ला करने की जरूरत नहीं है, चुपचाप काम करते रहना." काम करना was their distraction. And then when it got too much and the die came, the birth was just a few hours. So from those few hours to the 20 few hours has happened because in early labor, we are jumping up and down and running to the hospital. A lot of women will never pick up in labor because they get so anxious. And then when they get to the hospital and they waited there for 12 hours and nothing is happening, that's when all the pitocin and everything else happens. Where are you, Urshita?
I'm
in the mall.
I'm getting down from the car.
Okay. It seems like you're in a mall.
No, God, no.
Okay. Oh.
I just come home from back-to-back stupid meetings.
Ah.
That is why I was so excited for the class. Kuch to acha ho din mein.
Okay. When the tempo changes and we come to a contraction that is less or equal to 5 minutes apart, but the key is that it is 60 seconds long, then we can say, that now she's in active labor. So at the end of her early labor, she should be fully or 90% dilated, effaced and 4 to 5 centimeters dilated. Some women could be 5 centimeters dilated and not in labor and moving around in the mall. Got it? Have you seen one of those? So this is the key. This 60 seconds long is an important key in SIM. So how we say active labor is very, very simple. The mom gets active, the baby gets active, and the partner gets active. So the mom may not feel like lying down anymore. She might want to move with her contractions. Partner gets active now. He's trying to get ready to go to the hospital. He's putting the stuff in the car. He's making sure the files are there. He's made sure that he's called somebody and he's supporting her to move around and get her stuff ready. While the baby gets active is that after 5 centimeters, the baby's head is quite low. So now, earlier the cervix was this long. Now it's like this thin ring. Baby's head was here, cervix was long. Contractions were only thinning it out. Now, this is the cervix, this is the head. Every time there's a contraction, the head pushes the cervix open. And that also, the baby is also quite active. So all those things about squatting, about sitting, about rocking, about all of that, now is the time to do it. Now is the time where the doula can be very, very effective. So the contractions of 5 minutes or less apart, 60 seconds long, has been well established over an hour. Is a good time to go to the hospital. You'll find that the mom is talking, chatting, telling everybody, and then suddenly in a contraction she needs to close her eyes. But
नहीं, I've had clients जो बस अभी I think my labor is starting. बस मुझे मतलब 1 घंटे में 2 contractions हुए हैं. I'm sitting on my gym ball.
Yeah, so no gym ball at that time. The change of mood is very subtle. So she's telling, make sure you have put this, ye kar dena, wo kar dena, and then she has one contraction, she closes her eyes.
And does nothing.
Right. It's gone. It's gone now. Oh, I think it's coming again. So this is early labor. And then you suddenly find that she's talking to you, and then she'll say, and she's gradually quietening down. And then she doesn't even open her eyes, and you say, it's okay. And then she puts her head down, and she becomes quiet, serious, and meditative. And that is also a sign of active labor. You don't have to look at the clock.
Okay.
This can go on from 3 to 8 hours. And she's going to make a statement saying, this is it. Now it's happening. Now she's feeling it. She's feeling it.
They just say, Urshita, bas, yahi hai. Ab yahi hai, main bata rahi hu, yahi hai.
Now I'm in labor. She's feeling, trust that feeling. If she's thinking, it's early labor, but when she feels, we trust it. We can make suggestions. So this whole toolbox that you see here, the shower, the positions, the massage, the breathing, we're going to talk, the next series of modules that we will do will be on the doula skills.
Okay.
So this is where we bring it out, not in early labor.
Okay.
Right? So what are we watching out? Now we are watching the increase in tempo of the rhythm. We are reminding her to relax in between contractions. So soften your jaw, bring your shoulders down, relax, relax, relax. And we will continue to do what has worked for her. No matter what our skills is and what our thoughts are and what we are saying, if it is working for her, follow it. Follow till you feel the need to lead. You will come to that, you will trust it, and then it will happen. So the work of active labor is just dilation. And in the next 3 to 8 hours, she'll be 8 to 9 centimeters dilated. So compared to the slowness of the early labor, this is a more active period. Right? And then at some point, she's completely within herself. She opens her eyes will roll back, she will smile at you. She has gone from telling you what to do to absolutely no words. And even if you ask her something, she'll like,
They're in a zone. It's like they're drunk.
Yes. Correct. Because they are withdrawing from their cognitive mind where the words are to a part of their brain which is primal. Pre-verbal. So a lot of people say, "Bete, thand lag rahi, bete kuch khayegi, kya khayegi?" Now she has to think and say, "Kya khaungi?" That pulls her away from labor. So make sure that you have something to eat. Make sure you have some hydration. Usme pipe dal diya, and you just bring it and say, "Chalo, take a sip." Like you're talking to a small child. That's the quality of care you're giving at this point. Take a sip of water. Come on, let's do this. You are just making a suggestion. You are not giving instructions, and you are not asking her to think. Even when you ask her, "Kitni dard ho rahi hai?" It's a difficult question. Kya khaoge? Irritating question, because it's pulling her away from where she needs to be. हमने बहुत मुश्किल से उसको वहां भेजा है. So early labor, the oxytocin has not reached the threshold to produce the kind of pain relief that the body can produce, endorphin. But at this critical juncture, everything jumps, and suddenly she's in that zone. It's called a trance, you can call it drug, you call it whatever you want, but she's in a zone. That's when we offer our skills. But we don't offer them because we know something. We watch. She's preferring to lean forward. And she said, "Oh, my back." So in my head, I'm thinking, oh, where could the baby's head be that she's choosing this? And then you let her do what she's doing. And you don't ask question, is this comfortable? It's not supposed to be comfortable. Say, which of these positions felt better for you? Or which was more comfortable than the other? Use comparative. Don't use absolute. That's so important. Which one did you feel better in? And at some point, you might feel that maybe a change of position, she's getting too comfortable. You say, okay, come on now, let's go to the bathroom. We've been drinking some water, let's go to the bathroom. And it's like you're suggesting to a 3-year-old. And even if she says, no, and he says, it will help because the bladder will get out of the way of the baby. So the baby's head is here, the bladder is here, we are hydrating, the bladder is increasing, the head gets pushed back, the bladder goes down, the head descends, helps open up the. So don't be afraid. It is going to get more uncomfortable.
Okay.
The good part is that the more uncomfortable it gets, the more comfortable she gets with the discomfort. But it's not going to become easy. Your job is not to make it easy.
The job is to help them through that part.
The job is to reflect back that that is what was expected and you're doing great. That this is normal. But a lot of us are very uncomfortable with her pain. We want to fix the pain for her. I don't want to fix the pain because nature is fixing the pain. Nature is fixing the process. I am there to say, when you're at the boundary of your challenge, my God, is this okay? Of course, you're doing wonderfully well. Oh, okay. I can stay with this now. And you'll find that the minute she makes that eye contact with you and you nod your head saying, wonderful, you're doing great, excellent. It's got easier. Because my anxiety goes down. When I'm told that whatever is happening is okay. The problem of pain is not pain itself. The problem of pain is the anxiety that comes with it. The fear that comes with it. It's really important that in active labor, you stay with her every step of the way. And sometimes staying with her in every step of the way could be, you find that the husband and wife are hugging each other and rocking, and you say, oh, you guys are doing so well. I'm just sitting outside. Let me give you a little privacy. And step out. Now, knowing that you are just a call away, they will just call you and you will come in, is so much security. Because we've done such good prenatal work. We have reflected to them how capable they are. We've inspired the father to support her. That our job is now just saying, okay, job well done. And wait, there will be a point you will be needed. But that might be just half an hour before that. Not before that. And that's all right. You could be sitting outside. The power that comes to them when they know they are doing it together. That she's capable and he's capable of doing it with her is a real big surge, a boost that takes the baby up. This idea, if it is cultivated that I am the expert and I'm going to help you, is more to do with your inadequacy rather than hers. So why can't we see other people cry? Because we feel upset or responsible. In some way, it triggers our traumas. And therefore, parenting has changed in the last 30 years. When our children cried and threw a tantrum, we didn't feel bad about it. We say, oh, he's throwing a tantrum, I'm okay. We say, हाँ बेटा, ठीक है, तू कर ले जो करना है.
रो ले.
जब ठीक हो जाएगा तो आ जाना, तब बात. When you are ready to talk, I will talk to you. Now what happens? The child yells and screams, please don't do this. What do you want? Tell me what you want. You want to shut him up. Not because the child needs that kind of attention. The child just needs an adult presence to say, yes, this is challenging for you, but I think you can do it. So I'm going to wait for you to figure it out. And the same is in fun. There will be a point where you will instinctively know that now I have to do. But that is a very late point and a very short period of time. Most women can do it perfectly by themselves. That's the idea. So watch for that increase in tempo. Watch. At one point, you will find that she will go from saying, keeping quiet, to looking at you like that and saying, can't do it. इससे नहीं हो रहा है, मुझे बहुत नींद आ रही है, I'm too tired. And the minute she voices that self-doubt, she has moved from active labor to transition. There are certain other things you will see in transition as well. And those outside this, let me just remove this. Oh yeah, sorry, not this reading. Yeah. So you will see now there is a surge of adrenaline happening towards the end of the first stage. She is gone from this place of I had to move through this easily, so shut down the brain, to I have to push this baby, so wake up. I was asleep and now I need to wake up. There's an adrenaline rush, and her negativity is a part of that process to bring up that adrenaline. So there are a couple of things all happen. If you're holding her hand, she will apply a lot of pressure against you. And some of them just want to get up. They are mobilized by that adrenaline.
We just want to like, मुझे करने दो, हट जाओ, मैं कर लूंगी, हटो.
You know, she just wants to get there. You know that she is now in transition. Negativity is a part of transition. It's fine. She might puke before that. So now the contractions are 2 minutes apart, but 90 seconds long. It seems like one starts, one starts, one ends, one starts, one ends, one starts. So some of the things you can say to her is to say, okay, let's pay attention to this contract. I know this is hard. Look at me, this contraction. The minute she finishes it, she go back. You're not listening to me. Okay, look at me, this one. Let's do this one. You take it one contraction at a time. To remind her by your touch, if she can bear touch, to relax in between contractions, and make sure that you have a good support around you. So you don't, even if she's making some sound, you don't want auntie G's and uncle G's who are worried about the sound.
बहुत तड़प रही है,
इसको करा दो जो
डॉक्टर इसका सीएस कर दो ना, वो बेचारी कह रही है तो कर दो ना बेटे, तेरे को सीएस कराना तू करा ले.
But the minute you say that, she will say yes.
हाँ करा दो, कर दो. Women say this to their in-laws, मम्मी मैं आपको ब्लेम नहीं करूंगी, आप करा दो, आप बोल दो डॉक्टर को मुझे सीएस कराना है, मैं बाद में भी आपको कुछ नहीं बोलूंगी, मैं कभी आपको ब्लेम नहीं करूंगी, आप मेरा सीएस करा दो.
पर वो करेगी भी.
हाँ, obviously.
So when she can't go on, she's almost there. So how much time? I'm tired. Give me something. Make it stop. Get the baby out. These are all words. If she's asking an epidural, it's a good idea to check her if you think she's in transition. At 8 centimeters, nobody takes an epidural. But everybody will ask you for one.
कुछ दे दो, कुछ भी दे दो मुझे, बस इसे खत्म करो, कुछ भी दे दो मुझे.
She'll be negative, irritable, and self-doubt.
Angry, they scream कि आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा, मैं बोल रही हूँ मुझे ये हो रहा है, कोई सुन नहीं रहा मेरी बात.
That is the adrenaline rush. So if she finds light irritating, sound, husband का phone vibrate किया, she yells at him.
तुम्हें समझ नहीं आ रहा, तुम इसे बंद क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो, अभी भी तुम्हारे को फोन पे बात करनी है. वो तो छोड़ो, डॉक्टर का फोन बज जाए, मैम आप प्लीज बाहर जाओ, आप चले जाओ, आप बाहर चले जाओ, आपने जो करना है करो.
Transition.
Oh, that is scary.
To understand that the body needs to awaken to push the baby out. If she doesn't awaken, she cannot push that baby out because her entire musculature is relaxed. Right? So just before a race, everybody gets a little bit excited or stressed. If you see sportsmen, they will be doing this, they'll be pacing. That's adrenaline in their body. And they need it to sprint. Otherwise, they can't. If they're like, yeah, then they're not winning. But they're jumping. So that adrenaline needs to move. And so,
ये part सबसे डरावना होता है क्योंकि at this point the doctors generally call us in.
Yeah.
And around this point when they start setting up all those
because they know she's about to have a baby.
हाँ, so that this is the point that they call us, and this is the point the woman is like, तुम्हारा camera ready है. मैं कर रही हूँ बस. I am about to get rid of this baby. Are you ready?
But if you've been with them, they won't use the word read.
Oh, they say this. I've had clients जो कहते हैं
And they are
I
not
want to
well
get rid of it.
prepared. So they are well prepared, but they are not ready to have a child.
Probably, हाँ. There are so many women who मतलब उस time पे तो they are just worried कि camera ready है. Doctor आप बताओ कब push करना है बताओ.
Focus of transition is changing gears physically, emotionally, and biochemically. Right? And what you can do is make eye contact, touch, loving, hugging, touch, and encouragement. You're doing great. Let's do one more contractions. So I use the rule of 3. Every time I want to make them a change, I'll say, okay, let's do just 3 contractions. Now 1 is gone. This is the second one. This is the last one. Now let's do something else. 3 contractions. So I just use the power of 3. Right? And
Good idea.
You can use words like you're almost there. I'm right here with you. Just blow this pain out. So I use this a lot, saying, let all of that pain and blow it out. I know you can do it. Or if she's holding my hand, I make sure I'm not wearing any rings and my contact is like this, not like this. So it's like this, and I offer them a pressure so that they can actually push against that. And that discharges some of that activation. Saying, and then I'll say, pass the pain to me, I can take it, I've done it before. Okay. You're doing so well. Let's take 1 contraction at a time or 3 contractions in one position. Supposedly you're changing positions, then you can do 3. So this is the way to deal, but it is only for an hour and a half. Usually it's about 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. She's fully dilated.
And then the doctors tell us, "Beta, bus, ab tum push karo, dekho, baby is visible." Then what doctors do is they call the husband, "Dekho, tumhe baby dikh raha hai na?" Dikh raha hai, sachi mein dikh raha hai. Can you? Then some doctors also tell, "Feel, go down and feel the baby's head."
Right.
Then they're like, "Ha, ab aa gaya." And then it is the next 3 or 4 contractions, and they are all so pumped. Yes, I can feel the baby's head. And done.
Yes. But in birth, that's not how it should be. In delivery, it's like that. So when she starts to say, I'm feeling, call the doctor, then everybody rushes to the doctor to say, aap aake dekho isko kya ho raha hai. And then she finds that she's 9 centimeters. So she'll say, Madam, wo to 9 centimeter ho gayi hai, ab aap aa jao. Main pediatrician ko bhi phone kar rahi hu. Aur bula le anesthetologist ko. So she's getting the team ready. And the nurses are coming in, they are opening everything up. And then suddenly the mother looks at all of this and then she says, okay, now she's fully dilated, let's push. So beta, hold your thighs, bring your chin to your chest and now push. And then everybody says, push, push. But if we don't call the doctor at that time and she doesn't check and she doesn't know she's 9 centimeters, what will happen?
She'll do it very calmly. Usko itna jabardasti dekhna nahi padega. Haram ho kya raha hai?
So what will happen is that from the time she's 10 centimeters to the time her body pushes, that could be another 30-35 minutes. And you'll find that the contractions may keep that pace and then slow down immediately. And she will go from doing to, and that is urge to push. Pressure. 40 pressure can come at 8 centimeters from a water bag.
Yes, women say, I want to
not in a good position.
नहीं, I've had clients जो nurse से पूछ रहे होते हैं, मेरे को push करने का मन कर रहा है, वो पूछते हैं, potty pressure आ रहा है? नहीं, मुझे लग रहा है कि मुझे push करना है, तो वो कहते हैं करो, जैसे लग रहा है body को करो.
So when you touch, you have a what is called a cervical lip. The baby's head is tera, and because of the tera, the pressure is coming, and then they'll say don't push because she's only 9 centimeters with the lip.
Tear ho jayega.
Correct. So we don't do that. So I have learned that if she says I feel pressure, if everybody asks her in that state, pressure laga hai, she'll do, oh maybe because she's not thinking.
Usko lag raha sab keh rahe hain to ho hi raha hoga.
I wait till I hear, then I know she's pushing. I don't have to ask anybody. Uske baad, I'd say go call the RMO. And usually by the time they come and they check, the head is past the 0 station. And then we are relaxing on wherever we are, and the doctors are
rushing.
Like that.
No gloves, lao sterile, lagao, ye karo.
Yes, I like that because then they are not directing her too much.
Then they are just working on their own. हम कर लें.
हम पहुंच जाए time से.
हाँ, हमने miss कर दिया तो हम पे बात आ जाएगी.
Correct. So one of the births I did a few years ago, the woman was first-time mother. She was German. And we were sitting in the doctor's office. शाम के 8:30-9 बज रहे थे शायद. So we were chit-chatting. कमरा तैयार हो रहा था. हम जा रहे थे. Water, सब कुछ चल रहा था. Pool नहीं था, but सब चल रहा था. So we shifted to her room. She took 2 contractions and her water bag broke. And then so I called up the RMO, said कि water bag break हो गया, पर आराम से आना, अभी तो urge to push नहीं है. और डॉक्टर साहब ने चेक किया था 7 बजे. She was 4 centimeters. And when के अंदर घुसी, so she was bearing. So I ran out and I called her again saying, "आ जाओ." We took her from one floor to the other floor. And it seemed like she's going to give birth in the elevator.
Seriously?
Severely she was bearing down. But when she walked into that room where the doctor was saying, आओ, लेट जाओ, वैसे करो, she couldn't push. It took her 2 hours from that point. That was a turning point for me a few years ago when I said कि मेरे को तो अब midwife बनना है. I cannot do this. It is like I'm taking them there and then leaving them to get butchered. And 2 years later, she got pregnant again. And she called me. And we had a small chat. And I told her that I'm not working very actively, but I will go with her because she's my old client and it was a wonderful birth. And I told her that I was severely upset about how the pushing happened. And she said, so was she. So we said,
because imagine knowing and feeling it in your body ki hone wala, and then suddenly
your instinct goes away because the authoritative doctor, and even if the doctor is not, there is a certain sense about them. So this time we decided that we are going to beat this doctor or any doctor, whoever it is, that we have to reclaim this birth. So firstly she didn't go into labor. One day she came, I did a CST for her, I did some foot massage, she did an NST, and she went home in an auto and started labor. Yeah. And then when she arrived, we waited and I saw that urge to push. And I didn't call the doctor. We walked down to the delivery room. We set up the delivery room. We turned the halogen away from her to dim light on the wall. And I lifted the bed and she leaned on the bed looking at her husband. And then we called the doctor saying, I think she's pushing. So by the time the doctor arrived, the head was there.
Lovely.
And
so now that doctor was only
never looked at the doctor's face. She looked at her husband and gave birth.
Oh, that is so sweet.
She never saw the doctor. The doctor was behind her. So on all fours, leaning forward, she gave birth, and then they passed the baby from under her legs and she held the baby. And I think that was the time I decided that I will never call the doctor when I feel she's in transition. I will only call them when I hear her bear down, because second stage for doctors is 2 hours from the time they arrive. So if they arrive at urge to push, then we have 2 hours. But if they arrive at 10 centimeters, the first hour may be no pushing. And then they will force her to push, which is both counterintuitive. So this is a very neat trick that I learned. And as I got more grounded in my work, I had all the confidence to say, क्या होगा अगर निकल आएगा तो मैं पकड़ लूँगी. तो ऐसा भी हुआ है कि हमने वो dim light पे second gravitas को, she's on the bed, she's lying on her side and I'm holding her leg. And then she feels the urge, she says the baby's coming. I said it's fine, and we call the doctor. So the junior doctor walks in and she says, oh, water bag nikal raha hai, water bag nikal raha hai. Contraction khatam ho gaya, wo to wahin ka wahin tha. She's a French lady with a blonde French lady. So it's the head of the baby with blonde hair. तो उसे पता नहीं चला dim light में water bag था.
So cute.
और जैसे ही contraction खत्म हुआ, she turned and smiled, और वो तो वही था The doctor was like, "To the head है, वो तो head है." मैं कहा क्या करेंगे, धक्का मार देंगे क्या वापस अंदर? है आ गया बस, वो हो गया बच्चा, अब बाकी का पकड़ो. So it's possible to have babies in other ways. When
This is
mothers
so
are
cute.
doing with the work, not the doctors.
I remember जैसे चीना का बेबी एकदम से बाहर आ गया था, बेड पे ठड़ाक करके गिरी.
Correct.
हाँ?
गिरी नहीं हो
Yeah.
जाती के बाहर आ जाते हैं ना. हेड आ जाए तो बाकी तो बाहर आ ही जाएगा.
कितने मजे आ जाए यार.
एकदम से आके वो बेड पे गिरी और डॉक्टर कह रही है वेट भी नहीं किया.
कितने मजे आ जाए. ऐसे हो जाए मेरा तो. हाय.
हो गया ना. So this is an important aspect, that when you are there and you have a good relationship and they trust you, while you know that she is in transition, you don't mention. Unless she is desperately calling for an epidural and she's had a difficult time, then you may want to check कि कहाँ है. But the minute they know 8 to 9 centimeters, तो epidural तो दूर की बात है, बाकी चीजें करने लग जाएंगे. Which is also fine कि जो इतना desperate था, they'd like to know that they are 9 centimeters. But for most of them, I like to hear them bear down. Something that we all do when we pass stool in the morning, with a little bit of effort. So you know the body is pushing down. Then you say, अच्छा ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, अभी बुला लो डॉक्टर को. So उसे टहलते हुए जाके बोला, I think you should check her. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मतलब कुछ pressure लग रहा है उसको. And usually the baby is at station 0 or +1. And then you can sit back and enjoy everybody's panic.
हाँ कि हाय राम हो गया, बस बुलाओ पीडियाट्रिशियन को, बुलाओ वार्मर रेडी करो.
When you look at the mother and you say, the baby's right here, you've done great. And she's sitting back and smiling and everybody's running around. And that's a wonderful part. That's when the doula is really needed. So lot of nurses will come in and say, potty pressure lag raha hai, potty pressure lag raha hai. If she's like, nahi lag raha hai. Off. Because it's a qualitative thing, no? It's not, you can't quantify kab laga tha last. Feel the pressure and the baby may come out in the third contraction. So ऐसा कोई hard and fast rule तो है नहीं कि भी नहीं लगा pressure, जा कर ले जो करना है. So why she's saying, नहीं इसको कोई नहीं लग रहा, मैं तो पूछ रही हूँ. Still, you know she's bearing down. And if you know that she's in transition and she's not bearing down, then you might want to do some positions so that the baby comes in the right way. If the labor is saying, I'm ready to bring the baby out, but the baby is not showing any sign, that means there is a mismatch under. Then we do things so that it gets matched. That will become our job. So we will only do things if and when they are needed, not without reason. Okay? So far, so good? Okay. So as the baby comes out, now some doctors would like the woman to be in that lithotomy type of position or semi-reclining. And at some point, if the head is really down and she's really pushing, she couldn't give a shit. The baby would come anyways. But it's okay to give her a choice up early before the doctor arrives. One thing that we talk prenatally to our clients is about our birth plan on wanting to feed, and that will happen immediately. So breastfeeding is the biological norm, and breastfeeding arises out of proximity. So what gets in the way of this? People have these notions. So these are some of the things you can talk about before we go into labor itself. That, they'll say, oh, should we talk about breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is also parenting. Don't pick up the baby too much. Fostering independence, ki, isko ek bottle laga do, thoda independent ho jayega. Sleep patterns, he should sleep through the night, or this, that, and the other. Encouraging acceptable behavior, ki aise hi rona chahiye, itne baje uthna chahiye, itne baje sona chahiye. Ye sab, do they have this kind of background? It's a very important thing for you to know, because once the baby arrives, his needs cannot be put aside to educate parents. So we have to talk about this part in terms of bonding, not in terms of breastfeeding. The emotional connection between the parent with the baby. And attachment is somewhat different. Attachment is a two-way process. Bonding is your feelings for the baby. But attachment is how the baby feels while you give care. So bringing that attention to the baby's point of view. What do we know about the baby's needs? Food, how much? Nutrition, calories. How do we know what he needs? Warmth, what temperature? Sleep, how much sleep? And safety, how do we define this safety? So people think when they're in fancy places in big cots, they'll wrap that safety. And you can bring their attention to say, does the baby feel safe all by himself? Considering that up until this point, there is an intimate contact between the mother and the baby. So the baby's safety is hearing the mother's voice. Baby's safety is touching her skin, hearing her heartbeat, feeling her warmth. It cannot maintain his own temperature. So instead of making the room really hot and the baby really hot, it's better that you become aware that is the baby losing heat. If his hands and feet are cold, he's losing heat. That means increase the temperature. So you don't have to be too, if you are too hot, the baby will become lethargic and not feed and get dehydrated. So either side, babies in the beginning will sleep 22 hours, but not in one stretch. They will wake up for very brief periods of 10, 15 minutes and then go back to sleep. But the maximum sleep cycle is about an hour and a half. Set the expectation right. The baby will have a meal 12 to 14 times a day sometimes. So they'll say, अच्छा इतना? I said, ठीक है, अब बताओ कि सुबह से तुमने क्या खाया? Oshita, आप बताओ. How many meals?
मैंने? One.
Why? You're dieting?
No.
Eating?
No. I have stupid people to deal with. जिसकी वजह से आज मैं खाना ही नहीं खा पाई हूँ.
But generally कितना खाते हो?
3.
3 meals? How about a snack? A fruit or something?
Generally at midnight.
Okay, 4. Right? Cups of tea and coffee?
No, nothing.
None at all. How many glasses of water?
अलार्म लगा के 8 अगर अलार्म अवॉइड कर दूं तो 3 to 4.
नहीं 3 to 4 तो अनहेल्दी है ना, पर 8.
अलार्म लगा होता है every hour 8.
8. How much time do you eat and drink?
ऐसा कोई टाइम फिक्स नहीं है.
पर अगर 4 times meal है और 8 glasses of water है तो कितनी बार हो गया दिन में?
तो उठते ही 2 ग्लास हो गए. टेक्निकली एवरी 1.5 से 2 घंटे कुछ ना कुछ जा रहा है अंदर.
Correct. And how is that different from the baby? पर आपको पानी पीने में कम टाइम लगता है और खाना खाने में ज्यादा और स्नैक में बीच का टाइम लगता है, तो सारी बेबीज के फीड रेगुलर नहीं हो सकते. So this kind of education, you educate them. तुम ऐसे क्यों आंख बना रही हो सोनिया?
बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है ये. Good way to explain mothers. Good way to explain mothers.
So education means that they have understood what you are trying to say, not what you know.
Yeah.
That's the way to teach them. How much, how many times do I look at the do I look at the baby? Here is why the safety part is important. In our brain, we have 3, so this is called the triune brain theory. The brain is divided into 3 evolutionary parts. When we were reptiles, we had just the reptilian brain. बहुत सिंपल था, खा लो, अगर आपसे बड़ा है तो भाग जाओ, आपसे छोटा है तो उसको खा लो, और आपके साइज का है तो then let's have sex. That's it. Then we got a little bit older or more evolved, emotional came in. And then as we became even more evolved, now we can think and logic. But our survival state is still here. Am I safe? So for the baby, this is yet to develop. This is coded by what he has experienced in the womb, but will develop in relationship. When I felt love, when my mother felt love for me, I had a biochemical charge. I felt really expanded in my chest, but I didn't know what that meant. Now when I look at my mother and she sings to me, I feel the same way. This is love. Then later in life, when I see my girlfriend or my wife, I feel the same way. That is love. When I feel the same with my children, that is love. Or with my friend, that is love. So the love, the physicality of love is coded, but the brain comes online in relationship. If I'm lying in my bed looking at the mobile, I don't know what love is. So am I safe? Am I loved? And then what can I learn? Now that I'm safe and I'm loved and I have support, what more can I do with my life? But if I'm not safe, what the hell am I going to get loved? And if I'm not loved, kya seekhunga? So this hierarchy is very, very important for parents to understand that the babies are here. Their first job is to feel safe. How do they feel safe? In the presence of their parents, not in a separate room with a maid or a camera. Am I loved? When I cry, somebody talks to me sweetly. Baby, what happened? Why is my sweetheart crying? Or when I cry, I say, "Hey, ye baby kyun ro raha hai?" Which one is loved? Didi, ye bachcha ro kyun raha hai?
अच्छा ओ मुझे लगा ऊपर आवाज दे रहे हो
नहीं मैं तो बता रही हूँ. That's not love. If I am here and my husband says, "Kya bhai dekho wo kyun bol rahi hai itna?" That's not love. But if I say something, my husband says, "Babu kya keh rahe ho?" That's love. So am I loved? Question is answered by the presence of the mother. When my mother holds me, what does her body feel like? What does her smell feel like? What does her heartbeat feel like? That tells me if I'm safe. Because if she's agitated, then God knows mummy girne wala hai. Main aur jor ki rounga so that somebody will come and save us both. So this is really important. Co-sleeping, breastfeeding, these are all natural instinctive phenomena that allow the baby to feel safe because itna dimag par laga nahi sakta hai. And then if the baby is engaged well, then he can move to some period of scare and come back. But if this is prolonged, he will go into a shutdown. So babies who are in nursery, when they come back, either cry a lot, which is fight and flight, or sleep a lot. Good children, raat ko bilkul mummy ko tang nahi karta hai, is actually depressed and shut down. And we value those things. ये तो पूरी रात सोती है, बिल्कुल माँ को तंग नहीं करती है. I'm worried. She's already disassociated. That means later in life could be addicted to substances. She needs to have an external thing to feel alive. Will need something to wake up and get on with life. That's depression. So we must, not in these terms, but we must explain this to people. This is the difference between a child. So this is a child who is in activated state. This is a child who is a disassociated state. This is the difference. And this is a well-engaged child.
Hey, so cute.
Look at that. That's an activated child. Try on barrier. Fight and flight. Somebody listen to me. Activation. Come on. This is a child who's like, I have no hope. I don't know whether they care or not. And this is a child who knows that there is somebody for me. This is that person. If I call her, she will come. I am safe. This is the difference. So this child can have a lot of digestive problems. This child colic, this child gas, lots of it. This child, no problem at all. What is needed is pre-coded. Our instincts have long told us to meet the needs of our babies, even if we have not understood why. So, सारी science जाननी जरूरी नहीं, ठीक है ना? What is primed at birth? Closeness with mother, familiar voice, eye contact, warmth, tactile stimulus, primal reflexes, suckling behavior, muscle tone to initiate eye contact and breastfeeding, reading facial cues. We are waiting to look at the mother. And all the things that we don't know yet. Because I don't know what else is there because we haven't yet found out what it is there. So this is some of the information you can offer to your clients when you say birth plan for baby. skin to skin contact, zero separation, no external feeding, rooming in, keeping the gets out baby in. Parents should get involved in protecting the baby so that all these can come up right away, and breastfeeding is a way to do it. So attachment theory is based on the belief that the mother-child bond is essential and primary force in infant development, and thus forms the basis of coping, negotiation of relationships, and personality development. We will see disorders in all fields if there is no good mother and baby bond. Whether it's coping, which means they get agitated very quickly, anger comes up, depression comes up, negotiation of relationship, don't trust partners, don't believe in partners, are needy, and personality, introvert, low self-worth, low self-esteem, lack of confidence. All of this comes from that initial bond. Because when the mother and baby are together, we're also telling the baby, you are worthy of our time. Not that, oh, you know, now you're a nuisance in my life. What is fascinating about the mother-baby dyad is that, like the biology environment interplay, it is a synchronized system. The mother tunes to her baby's internal states and responds. To keep the mother and baby together, you don't have to tell the mother what the baby needs, she knows. Which produces a response in the mother, which further fuels the system. So the more the mother engages with the baby, the more the baby develops through it. One is not independent of the other, and each has a profound effect on the next response. This dyad is the key to a healthy development for baby. The mother must achieve attunement with her baby to create healthy attachment. Thus, healthy attachment is simply the development of that attuned relationship. And a lot of what they think about labor, how they speak in labor, how they behave, the choices they make affect this. So when we bring this information in our prenatal period as a birth plan and give them this, educate them with this science, will this change the way they look at? So they move from preparing for birth, information from outside, to readiness to do what is needed for birth. That's an internal state. This is the research. This is Lisa Feldman Barrett, Northeastern University psychology professor. And she says infants are completely dependent on their caregivers, whether they get enough to eat, the right kind of nutrients, or whether they are kept warm or cool enough, whether they are hugged enough and get social attention. All these things are important to normal brain development. Our study shows clearly that a biological process in one person's brain, the mother's, is linked to the behavior that gives the child the social input that will help wire his or her brain normally. That means parents' ability to keep their infants cared for leads to optimal brain development, which over the years result in better adult health and greater productivity. And if anything I know about India is that we want brain development. So this is a very good.
हॉर्लिक्स पिला के 5 साल की उम्र से पहले कर देते हैं ना?
क्या?
हॉर्लिक्स पिलाओ, 5 साल की उम्र तक ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट हो जाती है.
हाँ, but this is the key to that brain development. From a behavior perspective, attachment is represented by a cluster of instinctive child behaviors that serve to create the attachment bond, protect the child from fear and harm, and assist in safe exploration of the world. These behaviors include reaching, clinging, sucking, locomotion, and all facilitate maximum physical and emotional development. From an emotional perspective, babies are not born with the ability to decode and decipher meaning and emotion, but rely on the mother to navigate the world, both internal and external. This creates an internal working models that function as scripts or templates by which babies can then gauge their own emotions and those of others. The mother acts as a secure base that is used for exploring, learning, and developing of the necessary skills of self-protection. What about the mother? What is it that the mother is offering for the baby to metabolize? What is it that she's carrying? So breastfeeding is the pathway to attachment. Closeness to the mother, familiar voice, eye contact, warmth, tactile, primal. All of these things are available when we do breastfeeding. Ushita, you're upside down.
Huh? Am I still upside down?
Ulti hai na? Now you're. अब ठीक नहीं अभी भी उल्टी हूँ.
किस बात कर रहे हो?
हाँ अभी भी उल्टी. अभी भी.
हाँ.
आपका सिर और सोनिया का सिर मिल रहा है. सिर जोड़ी हो रही है.
ऐसा कैसे? अभी भी?
हाँ अभी भी. इतना फनी लगता है जब ये उल्टी ऐसे मुंह बनाती है।
अब
अभी भी आप तो उल्टे ही रहोगे।
अरे अब तो मैंने हर तरह से फोन घुमा लिया, अब मेरे को उल्टा रहने दो, मेरे को चमगादड़ों की तरह लटकने दो।
हाँ ऐसे ही लग रहा है। मैं तो ये सोचू कि पर्दे ऊपर क्यों नहीं गिर रहे हैं, नीचे को क्यों जा रहे हैं, कैसे टिके हुए हैं। And that's where we're going to stop today. So today
So
we
this
are
was fun.
the anatomy physiology part of your course, and from tomorrow we will start doula skills. एक यास्मिन के साथ हमारा इंटरव्यू है जो हमने पिछली क्लास के साथ किया था, which I have recorded. उसका भी मैं आपको लिंक भेजूंगी. I'd like you to hear it because I can't invite them again and again. So whatever I have recorded, that interaction is fabulous. What she has written, and then we will have a short discussion. So you will see it already, not for tomorrow because it's just tonight, but for the next time on Tuesday you will see it, and we will first discuss that on Tuesday and then start with the other class. Okay?
Got it.
Good, great. And I
See you
will
tomorrow at
see you at
11:30.
11:30.
Yes.
तो वो वाला recording का तो मैं आपको भेज रही हूँ. Do you find it convenient if I send you recordings on your WhatsApp?
हाँ परफेक्ट है, मेरा भी कम्युनिकेशन वाला मिल गया, अब इसकी मैं असाइनमेंट शुरू करूंगी.
गुड,
बेस्ट है वो तो.
हाँ बोलो सोनिया, आप क्या कह रहे थे बेटे?
मैं ये पूछ रही थी, आज रुचिता का सुबह कॉल आया था. तो शी सेड कि देयर इज अ बेबी जो 24 आवर्स मदर से सेपरेटेड रहा आफ्टर बर्थ. We don't know the reason why, and now वो ब्रेस्ट फीड के लिए जब बेबी को लेती है मदर तो बेबी नहीं फीड करता, वो बहुत जोर से रोता है. एंड उन्होंने उसको फॉर्मूला ही ऊपर से वो सिरिंज से फीड कराते रहे. फिर रात को वो थोड़ा सा, हाँ आगे से वो
बर्थ कैसे हुआ था? सीधी हो गई?
बर्थ सिजेरियन. हाँ सीधी हो गई.
सीधी हो गई है,
सीधी हो गई सही में.
हाँ बोलो, सॉरी.
तो बर्थ सिजेरियन था. तो रुचिता वाज लाइक, वी वर डिस्कसिंग कि वो क्या रीजन है. तो एक चीज तो यही समझ आया कि बेबी बेचारा ट्रॉमेटिक ही है क्योंकि मदर से 24 आवर सेपरेट रहा है.
क्यों हुआ था?
हाँ जी,
सिजेरियन किस वजह से हुआ है?
ये मेरी बात नहीं हुई. मूलचंद में मोस्टली वो लोग 37 वीक्स में इंड्यूस करते हैं, जो मेरे को अभी तक हिस्ट्री.
एंड हाउ इज
और वो नई डायलेट,
how is she emotionally? Because the vulnerability of the baby for this may be higher if the mother has had a stressful pregnancy.
हाँ बिकॉज बेबी वो यही बता रही थी कि जब बेबी मदर के पास जाता है तो रोने लगता है. या तो बेबी जब मदर के पास जाता है तो रोने लग जाता है, और जब रुचिता की गोद में जा रहा था तो चुप हो रहा था.
So what is he reading from the mother? Either he's upset with his mother for
हाय मुझे नहीं रहना तेरे साथ, जा.
literally like that.
हाँ जा, राइट, वो ऐसे ही है. राइट,
सेशन
तो
एक थेरेपी का सेशन कर लो.
किसके लिए?
बेबी मदर के लिए.
मदर
बेबी दोनों के लिए.
कौन सा थेरेपी?
क्रेनियोसैक्रल.
ओके ओके.
ये बड़े बच्चों का भी हो सकता है.
ये देखो.
ओके.
Some of my course books.
तो राइट. ओके, some of your course books. तो हम उनको फिर
हाँ वो भी कर सकती है.
तो ऐसे
Now I'm very uncomfortable saying that they should come to me. So I'd like.
Yeah.
So are you going to go and see that baby?
नहीं, because I've got very bad throat. But yes, Ruchita asked me कि Sonia, what do you think?
रुचिता को बोलो कि कुछ देर के लिए बेबी और मदर को स्किन टू स्किन रखते हैं.
वो तो कर रहे हैं, वो करवाया. बोला उसको
जब ये करते हैं.
ये मैं पूछ लूंगी. I have no idea.
Mother, she has to make the mother comfortable. Yeah. Let the mother tell the story of what is upsetting her. Then let the mother talk to the baby and say why the baby was, what is the challenge. Ask the baby, what was it for you? I'm so sorry, तुम्हारे साथ ऐसा हुआ. I'm here now. When you have to मनाना पड़ेगा बच्चे को.
राइट. रात को वो फिर भी फीड लेने की कोशिश करता है, मुंह चलाता है, लेकिन दिन उसके पास बिल्कुल भी नहीं आता.
तभी तो कह रही हूँ ना कि उसको ब्रेस्ट कवर करके, स्किन टू स्किन छोड़ो, पहले तो ब्रेस्ट कवर करके माँ अपनी गोद में पकड़ के उसकी आंखों में आंखें डाल के बातें करे.
आंखें डाल के बातें करे. राइट. यही हम आज दिन में मैंने भी यही बोला कि वो उसको बोलो बहुत बातें करे, प्यार करे, जैसे हमने पहले आपसे बात बताते हो ना.
Once she has to renegotiate that relationship, apologize for the baby's experience, acknowledge कि उसके लिए बहुत बुरा हुआ, भगवान जाने उसके साथ क्या क्या किया है उन्होंने रात.
Right.
And उसकी क्या बात है? If the mother was happy during pregnancy, then the baby may be able to buffer. Disconnected with that baby during pregnancy, तो उसका क्या relationship है उस माँ के साथ? What should that baby feel happy about?
Right.
So she has to. It's like you have to renegotiate that relationship.
Right. So I'll ask her, Abhi. I'll talk to her and I'll definitely ask her all these.
Then I can step in, but I think you should be able to manage it.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
I said, अगर फिर भी नहीं होगा ना, then you can call me to do a session. But majority of trauma can be solved very early by skillful caregiving. अब वो पता नहीं उस प्रोसेस में दब गया है क्या, पता नहीं है ना क्या हो रहा है. वो जो ट्यूब डाली होगी उसके अंदर, उसका क्या एक्सपीरियंस है, तो वो जब माँ के पास आता है, इट कुड बी मल्टीपल थिंग्स.
Right.
I feel bad for the baby now.
Why?
Right.
Can't feel bad.
उसको पता है नहीं वो क्या सोच के, मतलब उसका डीएनए ऐसा होगा कि वो ये सोच के आएगा कि वाओ मैं पता नहीं कहाँ जाने वाले हूँ, माय गॉड, और वो आया ऐसे जहाँ पे 36 तरह के अलग अलग लोग आर, जस्ट.
बट ऐसा सोचो,
हाउ डू आई से इट,
ऐसे सोचो कि हर बेबी अपनी कॉन्शियसनेस से आता है ना, तो ही हैज चोजन दिस मदर, दिस सिचुएशन, but he's also chosen to have us in his life to offer support. So how can we support him? If we respect the autonomy of the baby as a sentient human being.
पता है अब जैसे आप
अब पूरी दुनिया को तो बदल नहीं सकते. I don't pity anybody. Pity is an emotion that says, oh, I'm good but you're not, so I pity you. I don't pity. I say, wow.
I don't think I pity that baby. I feel bad for that baby. जरा क्या सोच के आया था.
So I always talk about saying, you're so tiny and you're taking on so much. How can I help you? This must be important for you to do. And this is how it is. This is where we are right now. You're so small, but you're not alone. Tell me how I can help you. That's it.
Wow.
Why would we say that what he's experiencing he's not capable of, or he has not asked for it, or it is not his choice? Why should we say that? We say you are a small thing and you're taking on so much. And if he needs your help, he will ask for it and he will take it, and you will arrive at his doorstep to help him. But if he's not, and he has to go through it, then you can always say, yes, this is hard and you have chosen this. I bear witness to you. That I witness your problems. I'm still not disassociated, you're still not alone, but you're going through this. Same thing for labor. No, yes, it's paining, you're going through it, but I'm not disassociated from you. I witness it. And can I stay present to that witnessing, because it's hard, because then I feel emotion, like I feel bad for them. When you feel bad for somebody, you want to fix it for them. I don't want to. Show me how I can help you. At least the intention is that he has the power, even though you are doing the fixing. Show me how I can help you. What do I do that might help you? You can use any words like that. But the choice of taking help and what it may be still lies with that person, not with you. So then you have more humility to say that I was chosen to be a part of this dynamic. तो मेरा भी कुछ लेना देना होगा. चलो जी कर्म काट दिए सारे, कट, let's move on. But ठीक है. ऐसे तो if you think of what is happening in the world, this child we know, Urshita, but there are so many children who are being beaten up every day. So many stray dogs are being stoned. You can't feel bad. You'll get depressed.
Right.
So you say that, how can I help? मैं तो उतना ही कर सकती हूँ. और लड़ाई करने से तो कुछ नहीं होता. सालों से लोग लड़ाई कर रहे हैं आपस में और कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं. Only getting worse.
But this language is helping me actually in my personal life also. कोई भी परेशान होता है, अच्छा tell me what can I do for you? Why are you like this? And the moment I ask them, ऐसे बदल जाता है nature. Seriously.
पर क्या होता है कि जब कोई परेशान होता है, if you love them, then you feel guilty. You say कि अरे यार मेरी वजह से I should have done something. My God, I'm not adequate.
नहीं.
कहानी खत्म. वो कहानी खत्म.
No guilty. No guilty. आपने वो भी बताया है. हमको कोई guilty feel करने की जरूरत नहीं. वो भी सीख लिया हमने.
अगर गिल्टी फील करने से अच्छा है कि पहले सोच के करो ना.
देखो मैंने 3 चीजें सीखी है. गिल्टी फील नहीं करना, वैलिडेशन नहीं चाहिए, एंड व्हाट कैन आई डू फॉर यू.
तो अब क्या हुआ, इंस्टेड ऑफ नीडिंग फ्रॉम अदर पीपल तुम दाता बन गए. यू आर अ गिवर नाउ. अर्लियर यू वर अ टेकर कि मुझे वैलिडेशन चाहिए, मेरे को देखो, मेरे को दो. नाउ यू बिकम अ गिवर.
ओह वाओ, आई एम फीलिंग गुड.
घर में 10 लोग हैं, एक घर में 10 और सारे टेकर हैं, तो देगा कौन? उस घर में लड़ाइयां होंगी. और एक घर में 10 लोग हैं, उसमें से 8 गिवर हैं, तो संसार अच्छा है, लोग खुश हैं. क्या करते थे जॉइंट फैमिली, सब काम करके आते थे, पैसे घर में पूल कर देते थे, तो घर में हमेशा पैसा होता था कि भाई चलो उसका इलाज कराना है, चल दे दे पैसे. अब उसने वो करना है, चलो उसके लिए भी, तो सब लाके दे देते थे. अभी लोग क्या करते हैं, व्हाट्स इन इट फॉर मी, मेरे को क्या मिलेगा. सबके घर खाली हो चुके हैं. बेटा मांगेगा तो यू दे तो वही सकता है जिसका घड़ा भरा होता है. जो खाली है वो क्या देगा.
सही बात है.
उस दिन थोड़ा खाली हो जाए, उस दिन मत बोलना व्हाट कैन आई डू फॉर यू. से टुडे आई कांट. सॉरी, आई नीड टू फिल माय ओन घड़ा नाउ. मैं कुएं पे जा रही हूँ घड़ा भरने.
एक और चीज अभी आई हैव लर्नड वन मोर थिंग. को ना बीच में हेट हो गई थी ना, व्हाई आई एम अ फीमेल, नाउ आई लव बीइंग अ फीमेल अगेन, एंड आई एम looking at, मतलब I'm feeling my body is again changing, and seriously thank you.
And does your husband also feel that your body is changing?
My body is changing in the sense that this thing I really feel that I got PCOD wala thing. I got polycystic ovaries. I was not getting periods every month because maybe my body was listening to it, what I was thinking subconsciously. I didn't want to be a female. Yeah, and now I've accepted myself gracefully as a female, and now my cycle has again became normal, and there are no cysts. That's what I was sharing this with Urshita that day, that my cysts have really disappeared. I don't know how. I felt
बता दे क्या है. मैं खुद परेशान हो रही हूँ. योगा में क्या करना है?
योगा भी मेंटली भी
गई हूँ.
बैठ के भी मेंटली भी. हमारे को बात करेंगे फोन पे. अभी मेरे घर पे गेस्ट वेट कर रहे हैं, मैं कब क्लास ओवर करूं और मैं बाहर आऊं.
चलो, I will see you try tomorrow at 11:30.
11:30. उर्शिता आज की जैसे कॉल